Yes.
Good morning, children. Our today's topic is not-for-profit organization. The first question arises in our mind is we have heard organizations are working for profit to earn money to gain something. But in our surroundings, there are many organizations which are working for not for profit. So, which are they? They are like educational institutes, charitable hospitals, clubs, sports clubs, music clubs, gardens, libraries, and religious like temples, churches, gurudwaras, etc. So, such type of organizations come under not-for-profit organization. So, how they are different from the organizations which are earning profit? So, we can distinguish now there are two types. The organizations which are working to earn profit, and the second type is not for profit organization. Okay, so which are they? Like traders, millers, businessmen, industrialists, etc. etc. So they are working to earn profit. Their first motive is to earn profit. Now, when we talk about the meaning of not-for-profit organization, so the introductory meaning which I just gave you, it is narrow. So we can make its concept wider. How? Including professionals into it. अब आप कहेंगे प्रोफेशनल्स इसमें कैसे आ गए? तो प्रोफेशनल्स, हु आर प्रोफेशनल्स? Professionals are those who are working, rendering their services to the society, and they have got, means they have to attain some special knowledge, some degree before providing their services. Like me, teacher, doctor, engineer, pleader, lawyer, an advocate, tax advisor, etc. If they are rendering their services to society, they have to they have to attain an additional degree, to be an expert, to be specialized in a particular sector, they need a special knowledge. So that is why professionals are included in not-for-profit organizations. Okay? So making its concept wider, we can say that not-for-profit organizations are such organizations whose motive is not to earn profit. They are rendering their services for the public welfare first. Second, see what second is to recreate the people like clubs and all, and third for the safeguard of their interest. Let me explain safeguard of their interest. Have you heard NGOs? NGOs, non-government organization. They work for public to save their interest. Interest means उनका हित, उनकी भलाई के लिए काम करते हैं. They file PIL in courts for any public issue. Okay. So when we talk for not for profit organization in a wider sense. So how we will conclude? It is not for profit organizations are such organizations which are working for public welfare or to recreate public or for the safeguard of public interest, their rights, including professionals. Okay. Now second topic is need or object of keeping accounts in NPOs. हम जो कुछ भी करते हैं लाइफ में उसका हिसाब किताब लिखते हैं. We make budget at home too for small things, is it? तो हम छोटी छोटी चीजों का हिसाब रखते हैं. So likewise, like trading organizations, not for profit organizations also maintain some accounting books. Which are they? We'll discuss later. But what is the need or object to keep accounts in NPOs? So I have written a few here. First, to produce income and expenditure details to their donors. Not for profit organizations का सबसे बड़ा, the main source of their income is subscription or membership fees, which is being given by their donors. So they want to know the money means that they have given to the organization and what purpose it is being used. So what income they have generated and where it is spent, that detail has to be given to donors. For this reason, they have to keep accounts. Second is to know financial position. Financial position means what inventories and what stock they have on a particular day of the on the particular day. If they want to know, so for that they need to keep accounts. Third, for knowledge of assets and liabilities. Assets, their land, building and investment, etc. is their assets. And what are their liabilities? Means how much they have to pay. To know about it, they have to maintain accounts. Assessment of income tax. Even fourth, assessment of income tax. Like trading concern, NPOs also have to pay income tax. They have to maintain their accounts and they are audited by an auditor. Otherwise, there is a chance of manipulation. So that is because for the assessment of income tax, they have to keep account books. And this is last, not least, to balance expenditure according to their income. Generally, NPOs follow cash system. We'll talk what two systems are there. But generally, in NPOs, cash system is follows for the receipt and payment of money. Even there is a possibility some credit transactions may take place. Then they have to meet their expenditures according to their income. Until and unless the income is known or certain, determined, so they cannot go for expenditure. कितना खर्च करें तो पता होना चाहिए पॉकेट में कितना पैसा है भाई आज, तो जितना पॉकेट में है accordingly they adjust. Okay? Need or object for keeping account by NPOs. So there are two ways, two methods which are adopted by NPOs. The first is cash system, second is mercantile system. Normally, in 90% cases, cash system is followed by NPOs. But sometimes, in few cases, credit transactions may take place. And what are they? What are the credit transactions? We'll talk later. So cash system, everything is in cash. Money comes, money goes out. Inflow and outflow of cash in this system. Where there is credit transactions are take place, they have to follow mercantile system. That's it. The meaning. If cash system is followed, which books are kept by NPOs? First is cash book, because every transaction is in cash. Second is ledger. Ledger, you already have studied in 11. Ledger is a book of accounts where accounts are classified in three categories: personal account, real account and nominal accounts. Okay. So as per their types, they are classified and their particular entries are made in ledger account wise, individually. Third is stock register. What equipment, inventories and whatever material is available with NPOs is maintained and recorded in stock register. Fourth is salaries register. For the smooth functioning of any organization, some employees are required. Normally, such employees are not paid salaries, they are given honorarium, or we can say remuneration, but it is considered as salary and hence they have to maintain salary register to record salaries given to their employees. Then they have to make receipt and payment account. These three balance sheet, receipt and payment, income and expenditure account. These three are, we can say, the soul of NPOs. It is the essence. It is very important and prominent feature of NPOs. First, receipt and payment account. As the name says, receipt, whatever money comes in, it has to be written at the receipt side, which is debit side of the account. And second is payment. Whatever money goes out, outflow of cash, it is written in payment column in credit side. Okay? Then income and expenditure account. It is a bit different from receipt and payment. Okay? Income and expenditure account, here some adjustment of non-cash items or the items which are not received or not paid, means it is a mixture of mercantile system here. Though they are following cash system, though they means NPOs, though NPOs are following cash system, even they have to make some adjustment for the inflow and outflow of cash in income expenditure account. Either they are non-cash items or they are accrued, unearned or outstanding. So how it is done, we'll discuss one by one later on. And balance sheet. Balance sheet is the financial statement on a particular day. It is generally made at the end of a financial year on a particular day. And this is not an account, remember it. These two are accounts, but it's a statement of affairs. This is statement of affairs. It is not an account at all. Okay. Here I will explain you receipt and payment account. ठीक है.